It's me, Joe Patrick. Pardon me. I should say the internet's Joe Patrick. I am flying solo today because Matt Baum. It is Dundee Day in Omaha, which is a local neighborhood celebration. And Matt Baum is marching with his adult marching band, The Wrinkles in Time.
Oh, nice.
In the Dundee Day Parade. Every word of that sentence was true. You can look it up if you don't believe me. So it's just going to be me, but I am joined by a formidable assortment of listeners that are gang hang stalwarts. JD Gotta Catch, Brian Domingos, John Bunger, Jim, Mark. You're all here. We love you. We love having you. Trevor, of course. And so we're going to get into it. Expect spoilers probably for the first episode of Lanterns and perhaps Spider-Man Brand New Day. But really, who knows what we're going to talk about. But let's get into it. Guys, how's everybody doing?
Excellent.
Good.
Second
issue of my newsletter came out.
I saw that. Congrats. Very good.
Thank you.
Remind everybody again the name.
It is Escape Plans. It is through the Escapist Collective Substack. You can find that at escapecollective.substack.com.
And shameless plug. All right. Guys, I think we should probably talk about Lanterns. I assume at least most of us have seen it.
Yep.
And anybody that doesn't want to be spoiled knows where the door is. But the first episode of Lanterns dropped last Sunday on HBO, starring Kyle Chandler as Hal Jordan, Aaron Pierre as Jon Stewart, and an assortment of other excellent character actors, including the woman playing the sheriff, who is actually Scottish. I don't know if you guys remember, but I think, wasn't she in Trainspotting? 30 years ago? I don't remember if that's her or not, but she's got.
It's been 30 years since I've seen Trainspotting.
Well, yeah, same. I haven't seen Trainspotting since the first time I saw it, but anyway, she's great. Garrett Dillahunt is in it as the subordinate of whoever the main villain is, he has a boss that he mentioned, right? What do you guys think so far?
Amazing. Well, okay. I used that the adjective very freely a second ago, but I enjoyed it quite a bit. I thought there were some amazing moments in there. There's it's definitely kind of the buddy cop, Men in Black vibe, whatever. I am very happy though that they are starting to really kind of explore the Green Lantern middle, even in that first episode right now. It's not like they're completely shying away from this, like a lot of people feared. Obviously, they didn't show off like a ton of like the special effects in that first episode. What I do like is the chemistry between John and Hal right now. It's like, it's not quite a buddy cop because I know the whole thing is he's supposed to be training and all that, but there's this underlying animosity between them.
Yeah, it's kind of more odd couple.
Yeah, in a way.
I mean, it's sort of like Training Day, right? But Hal, not that Hal is corrupt, but I mean, just that they're kind of at odds with one another.
Correct. Well, Hal doesn't really want to go to the ring. That's the other thing that's also kind of underlying in this whole thing. He's just like, I'm getting my replacement, but do I, making it sound like he even told him like, I don't plan on dying anytime soon, which is also a lot of that's definitely foreshadowing.
And he constantly refers to him as Junior, which is obviously a dig, right?
Pejorative.
And so spoilers for the end of the first episode, or for the episode in general. It takes place in 3 time periods. Originally, the first scene we get is in 1996 when John is still young. And then it jumps forward to 2016, which is where the bulk of the action takes place. All of the scenes from the trailer, that's 2016. And that surprised me because I don't remember them saying, hey, this is going to be like a period piece. But as could have been predicted, the final scene flashes forward to the present day. Presumably somewhere out there, Superman and Guy Gardner and Hawkgirl, they're all out there. And John returns to the Nebraska town. He obviously like has some sort of like fond relationship with the sheriff, who in the past scenes has very little time for them. And they have discovered Hal's lifeless body sitting in the football field bleachers where they discovered the bodies in the earlier scenes. And he's been shot in the head, and that's the end. And also Hal's ring is missing, which I think means that we can assume John never got the ring. Right?
Or never got Hal's ring, because I know the big question is there's only one lantern from Earth, but then how do you explain Guy?
Right. And like there's all sorts of like comic booky stuff that they can lean on where that explains, like, why does Sector 2814 have like 6 Green Lanterns when all of the rest of them originally only had 1? Now they have 2 since the Jeff Johns era. But Earth 2814, not only does the whole sector have 6 Green Lanterns, but they're all from Earth, which is fucking weird. And there are all sorts of reasons for that. Like John got chosen. Guy was chosen, but Hal was closer to Abin Sur, so he wins. And so Guy lost out on a technicality.
Guy.
And Hal, Guy, John, Kyle, Jessica Cruz, and Simon Baz.
That's a lot of.
What about what's her name from Far Sector?
Fuck. Okay. And and Teen Lantern 8. But Teen Lantern is an asterisk because she like invented something or whatever.
And Alan Scott.
Well, Alan Scott.
He's not Green Lantern.
Alan Scott's a whole different thing.
Yeah, he's not a Green Lantern Corps member. Yeah,
but he's not a member of the Green. But I mean, so they can do any one of those. They can set up any one of those things where it's like, well, Guy got a ring, even though Hal was still technically alive. But,
or they changed the rules somewhere between that.
Or they changed the rule. Exactly. The Green Lantern, the Guardians changed the rules. Like during the Sinestro Corps War, when they were rebuilding the Corps, or after Green Lantern Rebirth, when they were rebuilding the Corps, they were like, okay, now every sector gets 2. And then during the the Sinestro Corps War, they were like, okay, I guess now it's okay for you to kill people. And, so like they changed the rules on a whim, the Guardians.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be interesting to see. Say that again,
They
Joe.
talk about that in the show, how they changed the rules already, like between Hal and John, how they became recruited. John literally interviewed for it like a job.
Yeah. And that's when the Hal said something along the lines of, you're supposed to get it like, whoever said that you can have like, a ring at the same time. It's supposed to be like, they choose, the ring chooses you. And then what did John say? He's like, they changed the rules. That was it. So.
Well, and in the trailers, there's that scene that's in a future episode where Hal goes to Oa, presumably Oa, and talks to Sinestro.
Yeah, that's right.
And Sinestro's like, you don't really think that he's just a trainee, right? Like, you know why they picked him, and they're like, yeah, he's my replacement. So like, I think that they kind of explained it to Hal or John as like, yep, we're gonna make this new kid a Green Lantern as well. But really, the idea was that they thought, or they knew, that Hal was on the way out for reasons we don't yet know.
There's some wacky stuff that I don't know if this is going to be true, but although it does make you wonder. Let's talk about John and his dad.
Right.
Parent of the year there, Parent of the year in 1996.
John's dad is a psycho.
Well, that's how I raised my kid. What are you guys talking about?
Just put the apple over his head. Why not? Just shoot him. Like, fine.
Putting Link against the garage wall.
Yeah, there you go.
So yeah, for those of you that don't know what we're talking about, in the first scene, John's dad, who is a military man, comes home from work or whatever, and it's the night of Hal's big interview on TV, and we get the sense that the kids were not supposed to be watching it, but he asks John, well, did you at least learn his name? And John was like, yeah, it's Hal something. And then he takes John outside, puts him against the wall, puts an apple on his head, and shoots it off William Tell style with a handgun.
Mm-hmm. Well, ask him an important question too before he shoots that apple.
Oh, yes. Are you afraid?
Yeah.
And so,
don't forget the detail of the garage or whatever was riddled with other bullet holes.
Oh yeah, and you can see like they go straight up in a line, which means he's been doing it for a while because John has grown. And so, at first glance, it's like, damn, John's dad is a psycho, and maybe he is because that's not normal behavior. But he's obviously like grooming him for something. Because later in the 1996 era, he gets a call or he talks to his dad on the phone.
Oh, yeah.
And they talk about I don't remember exactly what they say, but it's implied like John has an agenda that involves his dad. And my theory, because we know that they're going to be an antagonistic presence, I think that John's dad is a manhunter.
I was going to say the exact same thing. Like, there's a specific reason why he's so fascinated with Hal. And it would probably be around the time when the manhunters may have already went into hiding and assimilated into Earth. I think that scene actually, like when you see the trailer, like when you see that if somebody's morphing to a manhunter over a woman with a baby, watch it revealed to be John's dad revealing himself to the mom, and that's John like as a baby. So
I'll need to watch the trailer again because I haven't seen it since before the episode, and so now I want to go back and like look for details.
Something's up with him though for sure. There's not just like any old reason why he wants it. He needs John to be in the Green Lantern Corps. Like that's really what.
Yeah. I think he's grooming John to be worthy of joining the Corps so that they can get their hands on a ring.
Yep.
And because the ring is a weapon of mass destruction, essentially. Mm-hmm. Mark, you had a thought in the chat. Why don't you share it? Because I think that that's a fine theory. Mark Stern, if you're there.
I know, but you guys caught me while I was eating breakfast.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
You talk with your mouth full. What are you talking about? Go ahead.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. One thing before I mention this. Have they ever gone into deep detail? I know that, Joe, you mentioned something about an 80s or 90s comic plot line with Jon Stewart's dad. But was he ever like revealed as a manhunter or a bad guy?
Okay, so what I meant in that discussion is that this is straight from the comics. The idea that manhunters came to Earth to infiltrate.
Yeah,
and there was a crossover. It was the second crossover after Crisis on Infinite Earths. The second crossover that they did was called Millennium. Don't read it; it's terrible. But one of the better ideas from Millennium is that the Manhunters, which according to comics lore were the Guardians' attempt at peacekeeping before the Green Lantern Corps, and they were a failure for reasons that I don't really feel like I need to go into. Like they went bad. Yeah. And so they scrapped the Manhunters, but the Manhunters are still around.
But weren't the Manhunters robots?
The Manhunters were robots. There are Manhunter robots, but they are also in the service of this is where it gets into the weeds a little bit. Like there's an offshoot of the Guardians that were like, screw you guys. We don't want anything to do with your stupid bullshit. We're going to go do our own thing. And they're called the Controllers. And so the Manhunters are like, they work for the Controllers. And there are also Manhunter agents, like human agents that were conscripted or joined the effort. And so Millennium, it's revealed that there are all sorts of Millennium agents on Earth just walking around. And it's revealed in the course of that Wally West's dad is one.
Yep.
Lana Lang was one, or at least was like recruited to be one, and she got out. And so like these are supporting characters that are like right next to the main characters. And so I think I don't think Jon Stewart had much. I don't know if there was anything about Jon's dad in those comics, but the idea that Jon's dad could be a Manhunter agent, you know, hiding on Earth and trying to further an agenda, like that's straight out of Millennium.
Okay.
And so
it's plausible. That's kind of like where the direction, or like where they're kind of pointing us in the show right now.
Yes, and there's another scene in the trailer where that one character actor whose name I don't remember explains the deal with the Manhunters and how they can basically infiltrate anywhere and be anybody. Like,
yeah.
And then we see that transformation, as Damon said. So, what were your thoughts that you expressed in the chat?
Oh, so do you remember the recent graphic novel, or the I guess it's a trade now, but Tom King's it wasn't Fire and Ice. It was the
Human Target.
The Human Target. Thank you. And so there's a bit in there where they the Human Target and Ice they plot to get rid of Guy Gardner. And so she freezes him. He falls apart. Destroys into like she freezes him. He falls. He breaks into shatters into like a million different pieces of ice,
right?
And melts. And then he comes back later in the series. Spoilers, sorry guys. And it turns out he used his all magical ring to form a light construct, which was what was destroyed. Mm-hmm. So it gets a little, hard.
Comic book physics.
Yeah.
I mean,
I considered that as well. But then why would the construct be missing the ring? Because they would take, if they were after his ring or something.
I immediately thought that was
take it and disappear or what?
Yeah, I don't even know. I thought that was an immediate fake of some sort. I know that light construct might be something, but I just have a weird feeling that that's not just as cut as dry as Hal's dead. I think something else.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I mean, and it could be one of the Manhunters that shapeshifted into Hal. You know, like there are lots of outs. But
also my thought too is depending on. Oh, go ahead.
We see a Hal light construct in the show. There's like the copy where he's supposed to upload his consciousness every.
The hologram.
The hologram. Yes, the hologram where he left himself a voicemail.
Yeah, pretty much. And he's like, "How long has it been?" It's just like, "Oh God."
Well, I was just thinking that
also the hologram wasn't the hologram from the
1996.
The hologram was like old, right?
20 years.
Yeah, like
so like you said, it was 10 years.
2016.
Yeah, so it's 1996 around that time. So.
Yeah, I was thinking if Hal actually died, wouldn't the ring seek out John?
Well, I mean, it depends on how the training goes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and it also depends on the lore too. But I mean, because I'm not, you know me, I'm Marvel Lake House guy, but I've read Green Lantern's probably one of the few DC comics I've read the most over my years, and I remember seeing like things where like the ring would upon a Lantern's death, the ring would shoot off and seek out someone.
That is how it typically works.
So I would assume that the ring would go somewhere.
Right. And so normally so if a Green Lantern dies in the line of duty, the ring will leave the body and go in search of a worthy replacement. In the case of Hal and Abin Sur had the forethought to have the ring choose his successor and bring the successor to him before he died. Which is Hal's origin, right? And they talk about it.
Yeah.
That's seen in the beloved feature film.
Yeah,
That's
right.
true. Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Ryan Reynolds.
Like in defense of that film, of all of the things wrong with that film, its adherence to comics lore is not one of them. But yeah, so typically, yeah, the ring will seek out a replacement. But in the case of Hal's death, like if a replacement had already been previously chosen, like would the ring go to Guy? Would the ring go to John? Like who knows? I don't know.
Or
I don't know that we've ever.
Yeah.
When Hal died in the comics, he had already given up a ring. He had lost his ring in disgrace, right? Because he went bad. He turned into Parallax. He destroyed the Green Lantern Corps. And so Hal's ring had already been passed on, and no, not even Hal's ring. A ring was given to Kyle Rayner, and then later through many like comic book contrivances, Hal came back from the dead. The Corps was restarted. Guy got a ring. John got a ring. Like all the guys that had rings before got rings again.
Yep.
And so I don't know. I don't know if we've ever actually seen in the comics a moment where like Hal dies, even if it's briefly. What does the ring do? So I think that's new ground as far as I'm aware.
Yeah. And it's really going to depend on what the rules are that they end up talking about. Because if it's like, if two rings has become a thing and then Guy has one, and then it's like Hal, up until his death, at least, if that boy had one, then okay, there's two Green Lanterns. But then if it's like a situation where it's like, well, there's only one ring, well, that's going to change like pretty much, that's going to be a huge core of the season, I'd imagine, depending on which direction they go. So.
And we know that Guy is coming.
Yep.
So they might address like how could Guy have a ring when Hal was still alive?
Because there's even
that John can use the ring even though Hal is still there.
Right.
Yeah. Like, as long as he's wearing
it. Right. All you have to do is have it. There's no like. It's not like locked to his genetics or whatever.
Yeah. There's no attunement. There was a scene in the coming weeks preview where you see John Stewart in prison or in jail, and you hear Guy Gardner's, or I think you see Guy, and he says, the first time I met Hal Jordan, he was in jail too. So Guy and Hal have interacted
and a history,
and have history. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how they deal with the whole Green Lantern lore of Earth.
Yeah.
Well, they're of the cloth.
Yeah.
Say that again, Trevor.
Of the cloth.
They're of the cloth.
They're of the cloth.
They are.
Yeah, it's true.
More so than any of them that he talked about.
I really liked the explanation of why old grizzled Hal in 1996 did not wear the uniform. It's like
wearing a tie, man. Yeah.
When you first get the job, you're all hot shit and you're full of yourself and you want to show off. And then as time goes on, it just becomes a more headache than it's worth. Like it's like, yeah, awesome. Oh gosh. I thought the episode was great. I thought the acting was great. There are some people that have expressed that they thought the cursing was a little much, and I kind of agree. I don't need every HBO project to prove to me that it belongs on HBO. I really don't. It's like I don't need to hear Jon Stewart saying the word "fuck" every 5 minutes. It feels off for the character. For one thing,
it
does feel out of character.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And there's It's easy to blame Tom King for a lot because he's a kind of a beloved punching bag when it comes to comic stuff, but he's certainly not the showrunner, and he's not, there are many other writers, chief of which is Damon Lindelof, who developed the Watchmen show, which was, similarly edgy in that way. I just hope we don't see Hal's swinging green dick at any point. I don't know if my old comic nerd heart can take it.
He's gonna conjure one up and knock the Atrocitus out with it. You'll see the finale.
Oh man. All right. Any final thoughts on Lanterns?
Yeah, I did think Hal, the actor, is great, and I think they mostly got Hal, but he seems way more crusty than he should be in the comics. So that's fine. Adapt it for TV and make it likable. By the way, I hope my mic's okay. The new set of earbuds.
No, you're good. No, you sound fine.
And then I agree. I think it was John Tverdick or whatever in the Discord said something about the hats, and I totally agree. Even in Western Nebraska, they don't wear that many cowboy hats.
Yeah, but you know what?
The Husker trivia was super accurate, and that's exactly how you'd find a fake.
Yeah,
in Nebraska.
I'd be an alien
for those of us that are from the area, that was like a special Easter egg, but. So I went to high school. Like I'm from Omaha. I grew up in Omaha, but my parents moved us out to a small town in Iowa, about 40 miles east of here, and that's where I spent most of my teen years and all through high school. And I know that it's Iowa, but I'm telling you, there's plenty of shit kickers and cowboy hats. So it just depends. It depends on where you are.
I think how rural you get.
I think you call it Walmart core.
Walmart core, yeah, totally. Yeah,
and it is colorful and not so brown and dull.
Yeah,
I'm not excited about the color palette still.
Same.
Those are my gripes, but I can gripe. I still loved that episode. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I'm with you there, John. Like, it bugs me when people use Nebraska in their fictional stories, but don't bother to learn the first thing about Nebraska. Like, hey guys, we're civilized. We've got cities, and certainly there are a lot of bumpkins in Nebraska, but it's not the majority of the state.
Yeah, not everyone is like William Macon in the compound somewhere.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I mean, it's not Texas, right? It's not East Texas.
Well, it is perhaps a DC current DC universe, cinematic universe thing, because they have the Kents in Kansas with their super thick Southern drawls.
Oh man,
I do not know a lot of Kansas.
I do not like that shit. And James Gunn was like, I'm from Kansas City. I totally know people that talk like that. I'm sure that you do, James. The Kents do not talk like that.
Yeah.
The Kents do not talk like that.
Like, dude, learn about Omaha a little bit. At least watch an episode of Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, there is a reason why they're in that part of Nebraska, though. They say this area is where there was a crash site, and he says, like, the middle of nowhere, the perfect place to crash a spaceship.
Is it not? It's where Abin Sur crashed, in fact.
That's what he said.
Yeah, as what's revealed.
Yeah, so this town, that's why they're out there in the boonies.
Yeah.
Which would also mean why the Manhunters would go there too if they were retracing the Lantern step.
Yep.
Yeah, they're looking at Hal's origin and whatever has happened there at this point. So
yeah, exactly. I did like the tweet or whatever the fuck they're called now, that I saw. Like somebody, some website, some clickbait site did like a rough timeline of the DCU as we know it so far. Like, here's when Creature Commandos took place. Here's when Superman took place. Here's when Superman landed. And then the response was like, they left something very important out of the 1996 spot. Hal Jordan outs himself as a Green Lantern on national TV and reveals that he's searching for a spaceship crash in Nebraska. And then somewhere in Kansas, the Kent family starts shitting bricks.
Yeah.
I thought it was very funny.
So I want to talk about the suit real quick. Did anyone else feel like this version of the Green Lantern suit, which we technically only see on the TV screen, but does it feel like the Nova Corps from Guardians of the Galaxy a little bit?
Right. Yeah.
I'm not impressed.
It feels like James. There are certain things from the comics that James Gunn is scared to adapt too closely, and I don't know why, because we're already talking about magic rings. Like what's the problem? You know, why do we have to have Hal Jordan wearing some Gore-Tex nightmare?
Yeah,
with big, huge shoulder pads, right?
Yeah.
It's like a motorcycle outfit.
Yeah,
like it does. Jacket. It looks very motocross.
Like at least his toes weren't out.
I feel like he should be like behind home plate, you know, because he's dressed in case he gets hit by a stray ball.
Right.
But anyway, I mean my gripes with the first episode are minor. I thought it was just excellent. I really enjoyed it.
I actually love the ring. I think the ring design is super cool.
I think the ring actually literally looks like a prop that you could buy from DC Direct like 15 years ago. Like I think that's a thing you probably buy. Yeah. Yeah.
You know they'll be releasing one soon, so.
Oh yeah, there'll definitely be one. There'll definitely be one you can buy. And I saw people complaining about the ring. I'm like, what do you want? Right. There's nothing wrong with it.
There is one minor thing speaking of the ring that I do, because this is not my theory, because I saw this I think on Jenna Reed's comics or whatever. Anyway, one thing she did point out, and we'll see if this means anything. So when the opening of, they have the close up of the ring and the title or whatever in the beginning, it has a little hint of yellow expanding from the middle out.
Yeah.
So I wonder.
I've seen a lot of people theorize on that. That's very intentional that the yellow energy comes out at the opening credits, which I noticed that immediately too. I was like, whoa, that's yellow. What?
I think that'd be interesting story. And obviously that might be more Hal's story than anything else, but we'll see.
Yeah. I think having the Sinestro Corps,
not the Sinestro Corps, maybe,
but Sinestro.
He's in it. So we
know that he's in it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued at the idea that Garrett Dillahunt works for somebody that and they wouldn't tell us who it is. And he actually made a big deal of the fact that it has to be secret, like NDA or whatever. Can't tell you. I can't tell you who owns this cult compound. Right. And I'm very intrigued by the mysteries that it sets up. I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
Yep.
I know the adult content has been kind of a source of contention in this call so far, at least with the language, but I do love the fact that they put that crack in Jon Stewart's straight-laced personality with the guy's wife.
Oh yeah,
sure. Yeah.
He did not have.
Yeah,
just because it would be so easy to make Jon Stewart this like almost.
Oh,
I hate this internet term, but make him a Mary Sue. He's just so perfect straight-laced, the opposite of Hal. But no, he's definitely got flaws, or at least one big flaw. Which
that would have been totally Hal. Like no question, that would have been Hal. Like
Hal would have banged that lady. Absolutely. I mean, in John's defense, he did not know that she was.
Yeah, I was going to say
that's true. That's also very true.
He went into it without thinking, but he didn't do anything.
Yeah,
wrong.
Even Hal points out, he's like, we've been here 24 hours.
Yeah, I mean, look.
And Hal's like, I'm impressed.
Jon Stewart is a hot dude. All right.
Oh yeah.
He's a beautiful man.
It's just like, yo, all right.
Yeah, he's a very pretty man.
Yeah, he is. All right. So, has anybody not had a chance to see Spider-Man, or does not care to discuss it?
I still have not seen it, but I don't care about spoilers. So, go for it.
All right. So we never really had the chance because the last time we had a gang hang, the movie was like 2 days old. How did everybody find their Spider-Man experience?
Best Tom Holland Spider-Man, in my opinion. And I'll start there, but go ahead first.
Brian, go for it.
Yeah, I think I know I am definitely on my own island out here. I think Tom Holland and actually Zendaya too. I think they're super annoying. I don't care about their relationship or anything. I know I'm an outlier. I think they're two totally ordinary actors out there. Good for them. I'm glad they're happy, but I loved seeing Spider-Man with his mask on. That's my biggest thing. Yep. I want superheroes to dress like superheroes and do their thing. And so
the fact that it was not made out of nanobots made me so happy.
I'm so tired of nanobots and all that shit. And it's like, here's a guy down on his luck, living in a crappy apartment with a bunch of tech, but living in a crappy apartment. And he's in he's meeting Yelena in the baths, and he's wearing his mask and his underpants, and he's holding his booties, and it's like that is Spider-Man. Spider-Man's not slick.
Absolutely.
He's not cool. He's not organized. He's a guy who has to get from one place to another, and he wears his shoes tied together around his neck as he's running from place to place. Like this would be the Peter Parker that would wear a bag on his head to hide his secret identity. Exactly. Yeah. And so I loved that aspect where like so much of the movie is him being like, no, I'm Spider-Man. Like, and they hid his face. And I love that because I hate Steve Rogers with no mask on. And I hate Tony Stark's stupid face. And like, I know it's movies and kissy face and we got to see all, they want to see the actors, but like,
they're being paid a whole lot of money to not hide those beautiful looks. I really hate that. It's like, I don't want to see the actor in the movie. I want to see Spider-Man. And he looked like Spider-Man. And there was a lot of Spider-Man stuff. I did feel like it was two movies kind of shoved together. How do you mean?
I feel like there wasn't the getting back with his friends thing was like one part. And then the other part was the telepathic mystery one. And I've got a lot of problems with Jean's character and the way that they did it and the mechanics of like the literal, like it doesn't, when you roll it back, it's like there were so many other ways to do this that don't involve the taking over the mind of a janitor to steal a tank to drive down the street.
Sure.
Like, you know what I mean? Like it's a great action piece. You get to introduce Frank. You do all those things, but like she can literally take over anyone at any time. Just wait till someone's walking in the building and do it. But like,
right.
There's just, so there's things where it's like, it's this big thing. And then you find out that it's like a teenage girl at the end of her rope who also like, that's a real calculation of like, I got to find out who this person is to like the whiteboarding of the whole thing. She had to plan it. And she's so like, at the edge of like holding it together. And it would just be, I'm going to stand across the street. And when someone who looks important goes into the building, I'm going to take them over. She's not playing.
So well known for making great decisions though,
Right. But that's what I mean. But the whole plan is this huge, like, I'm going to start something that's 25 blocks away. Like, you don't know that that's going to work. Like it's, right. I don't know. And I agree that like she doesn't know what she's doing, but it's also like so complicated for such a simple thing. To just get this thing, I don't know. There's a lot of the telepathic stuff that I didn't love, and putting her. They got to get that character in there, and I hate the introduction, and I don't love what they did with her, and now that's the X-Men
it's
movie
also
of it
very
all.
much. It's also very much of the. Why is this way? Because the writers wanted it to be that way.
Yeah,
right?
it's
like there's no other logical explanation other than the writers decided.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that they decided to have a writer because Tom Holland was in a movie and was like, "Hey guys, why don't we figure out a script before we get here?" Because Christopher Nolan makes movies like he actually makes them, so why don't we do it too? And they were like,
That was so great.
It's ridiculous. It's
where he's like on set of Spider-Man saying, "No, Christopher Nolan did it this way."
Have we considered having a script before I put on my Spider-Man underpants? Like, let's do that. And they were like, all right, Tom, we'll see you crazy man. We'll see. Let's give it a shot. Like, it's a lot of credit to the director for Tom Holland to say, we need a movie script. And everyone looks at each other. Like, he's telling the producers at Sony, we need to have a script. And they're like, all right. You mean we can't just label something Spider-Man 4 and make a lot of money? Like, okay.
Where the producers also find him annoying and they're like, oh, just I can appease the dumb kid. He's so annoying. He'll just
I think it was like absolutely worth it. It's the best one they've done. It's one of the best, it's the best Sony movie. It's one of the best Marvel movies that they've done because it actually feels like that world, other than the vigilante in New York City for the last 4-year thing, which doesn't jive with Daredevil at all. But other than that whole thing where
the timing is weird.
The timing is weird because it's very specifically, it's not we hunted Daredevil and this was the whole thing. It was literally a vigilante task force going through New York, taking everybody in, and they ended up with Daredevil, Punisher, and Swordsman only. And meanwhile, Spider-Man's been the hero of the city for the last 4 years. So that's not the movie's fault, but it's like, this is the universe's fault, where that's a really specific thing to him because he is a vigilante by definition.
Well, they had a montage. All they needed was one clip of him fighting the task force guys. Yeah. And then it would have made sense.
I mean, the closest they came to linking the two was the shot of what's her name, giving him the key to the city.
The mayor's aide.
She was the assistant
mayor now. Yeah.
And now she's likely the mayor. Like, they don't let, the mayor gives you the key, right? They don't let some lackey give out the key to the city. But I mean, I don't know. I always thought giving the key to the city was like a thing that only existed in fiction, but
it's real, unfortunately.
But I mean, presumably she's the mayor, right?
He looks that way.
And so, in that montage, like, they could have addressed something Daredevil related just to kind of make the two timelines jive, but they chose not to.
And I'll wrap up, but I wish we had seen more of him fighting those, like, Boomerang, and like, they did it for like
we were robbed
the homage cover. We were totally robbed. It's like someone went the trouble to make a costume that looks cool to do like a 3-second like silent clip and move on to something else. Like, that's all. Like, I want more of that. I want, but it was like telepathy and across the jumping and all those embarrassing actors having to pretend to be mind jumped. It just
actually, I think they did a great job. At least some of them did. One of them didn't. But yeah.
Oh boy, it was so. Yeah. When you see those there's a bunch of clips of them practicing it, and it's like, yikes. Saw that. It is like, theater acting. It's commuter theater acting at its worst. But I would have loved, like, show me more of. We got Tombstone for what, 2 lines of dialogue, like 10 minutes of that. Like, show me more. Like, I want to see even literally 5 minutes of him doing that, more interacting, punching, kicking, throwing, instead of like basically a GIF of all of the things happening and then moving on. I feel like we were really robbed, but
I agree. And,
because that's the fun stuff.
Right. And Matt, as much as I hate to admit it, to give him any credit whatsoever, Matt said, like, having the hand be damage control's muscle makes no sense at all if you're not going to have Daredevil.
Look at those scenes in the building where the hand is waiting at an elevator to get in the elevator. Like, they're just, it's laughably silly. Like, what are we doing?
And so, when you've got Boomerang and Scorpion and Tarantula and Tombstone, and was there another one? But when you've got those guys, like, they could have been the muscle. They could have been the guys working for damage control for leniency. But we had to shoehorn in the hand and then shortchange actual Spider-Man villains.
Yeah.
Which bugged me. But I do agree that it's probably the best Spider-Man movie.
I agree with a lot of those takes.
It feels the most faithful to my generation of Peter Parker, you know?
It all those things kind of have drifted into my consciousness as time has gone on. At the moment, I was like, this was great. There's nothing wrong with this movie. I had so much fun. That happens to me a lot.
When you're in the moment, I'm the same way.
But yeah, and so now I can like look at those things and wonder. But the big thing that drove me crazy was just Punisher and what the hell are they trying to do with him? Like, you go from him not being in season 2 of Daredevil to that whatever it was, one shot where he suddenly lost his mind after escaping and not going immediately after Fisk, to get revenge, but try and get, and then he's in that mind space and suddenly he's like relatively happy-go-lucky, help the Spider-Man guy, what, where it doesn't, none of it fits at all. And even in this movie, he's out of character so often, it just, he seemed like a really weird inclusion, and maybe they could have replaced that. And again, that's another thing where the executives are like, this big actor, we have him, he's super popular right now, let's shoehorn him into the movie somehow.
Yeah, it's just,
and then again, the Hand is there, Punisher's there, but no Daredevil, makes zero sense.
Yeah,
it's just because Tom and Barenthal are friends.
Well, I was going to say, is it because Charlie Cox wasn't in the Odyssey?
Yeah, that's true.
Well, they go farther back than that.
It could have been a scheduling thing, like who knows? But I agree with you, John. I do think that his portrayal in Spider-Man is very unfrank. That said, I did really enjoy their relationship. I enjoyed what I saw, even though I recognize that like they definitely had to kind of.
Well, he does make a good example, and he calls him and makes himself an example for Pete, saying like, look, you're gonna just become a shell of a person or a wreck, and if you just keep doing this, or I forget exactly how the dialogue went, but he's kind of like, don't be like me, and I'm like, okay, that fits. But,
right.
And also,
their chemistry was good.
Chemistry. Aren't there multiple versions of the Punisher in the comics though too?
The Punisher. To say that the Punisher is mercurial is probably an understatement.
Yeah.
So I think the Frank that you get depends on the kind of day Frank's having. So because clearly the guy has mental health issues.
Well, and also I was going to say like the version of the Frank that we got in this. Yeah. Go ahead.
No, he's just never been more relatable than whatever day I'm having. There you go. That's the version of me you get. So
no, exactly.
I was just going to say it seems like the Punisher in this movie is just like a pair of white boots away from being, early 80s Punisher versus Marvel Knights, Welcome Back Frank,
spandex, right? Yeah, exactly.
I mean that guy's
superhero costume Punisher.
He had that first appearance, he was on the fire escape with a bazooka looking to shoot into an apartment, so he wasn't like an easygoing guy. Like,
and the first issue of the Punisher ongoing,
white boot Frank is still going to blow up that building with him on the side of it. So
that's true. Yeah, that's true. I mean, he's overkill is not a word in Frank's vocabulary, but the Hulk. We haven't talked about the Hulk yet, and I thought Mark Ruffalo's involvement in this movie was excellent.
Same.
And I really enjoyed seeing super big, like bigger than normal Savage Hulk.
Yeah. Been a while.
Awesome. It has been a minute. Yeah.
People have made the graphics of the size comparisons of all the Hulks in the films, and how like the MCU Hulk has always been like half the size of the old Ang Lee Hulk, and this is the closest they've gotten to.
The Ang Lee Hulk was ridiculous, though, because it was like an entire scene where it looked like he took up a floor of a building almost, it looked like.
I mean...
And then Smart Hulk was always a little even smaller.
Yeah,
Smart Hulk is like Thor sized, you know,
almost
maybe a little bit more beefy, but like height wise, so something that I like is this is a very handbook of the Marvel Universe kind of factoid, but something that I enjoy about the Hulk is that Hulk's physical appearance is obviously altered by his mental state. And so the Hulk in the right situation could be like 12 feet tall, which seems outlandish, but really 12 feet tall. I mean, it's not like Giant Man. Like it's still, but it's big enough to be like, oh shit. You know, like those, like the giants in the Odyssey, right? Where they're like, oh God, like that is an unsettlingly tall person. But you know, like you can wrap your head around something like Giant Man, where it's like, yeah, he pushes a button, he gets real big. But a green guy with a monosyllabic vocabulary walks in and he's taller than the ceiling of your apartment. That's bad. You know, that's just like, oh God. But I did like that whole idea that the Hulk's size is variable in that way. And so when Sadie Sink got into his mind and basically like turned all the locks off, it was bad news.
Yeah, he says she broke something.
Didn't he use like the thunderclap hand slap?
Hand slap.
That was so good. Yeah,
awesome. Love it. I love a Hulk thunderclap. That was one of my favorite parts of She-Hulk as well, where he's like trying to teach her how to do that in the first couple. Episodes. That was awesome.
That's right.
But yeah, Brandon, great.
So
go ahead.
So I was just going to say. Oh, sorry. No, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to throw in my 2 cents. I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. Listening, probably a little less now because you guys have all complained about it, and I'm like, oh yeah, there's that.
Yeah,
but, hey, that's okay.
Like my complaints do not diminish my enjoyment of the movie.
No,
there are things I wish they'd done different.
Neither do I. Sorry, I'm a bumbling idiot today.
Neither me, Frank.
Yeah, me. You know, I got the Hulk on the brain. I thought the movie was really good, and I think I made this point. I think I made this comparison. It seemed more like a Marvel 2-in-1 or a Marvel team up.
Yeah,
like
Marvel team up. Yes.
Yeah, it just seemed like an old school Marvel comic book with all of the things. Yeah, I definitely agree with you guys. We got robbed of why didn't we see the comic book villains more? And it would have been cool if the comic book villains were working as sort of like a. I don't want to like make the direct comparison to DC, but like, Suicide Squad.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I thought, Frank.
Yeah. And that would have been kind of cool instead of it being the Hand. And then there's no Daredevil. I'm like, we were all so sure Daredevil was going to show up in this movie. And the Hulk in this movie has been my favorite absolute portrayal of the Hulk so far. I even from the very beginning in Avengers, where he just like, no, that's my secret. I'm always angry, and he's like, boom, he's the Hulk. But Banner was controlling him. This was a completely unrestrained. This is the closest we're ever going to get to Sal Buscema Hulk. And that's what I thought when I watched this. I was like, oh man, it would have been really cool if they just gave him a little more bulk and made his hands and feet a little bit bigger, just to kind of push that point home. But I mean, can't be like that much into the Hulk and live a normal life. But
I mean, you're right though. It was a very like Sal.
Yeah.
Kind of coated, big scary Hulk.
Big brutish, shrugs off, like literally holding up like a chunk of the building.
Yeah.
That was so cool.
A little bit of effort. It's like, that's the Hulk we want. So I'll cut myself off there before I start babbling again.
All right. No, you're good, Frank. Go ahead.
Since we're discussing Sadie Sink as Jean Grey, what does everyone think of the new X-Men casting?
I literally know nothing about any of them except for Adam Driver. And the girl from Obsession, because she played Lana Lang's daughter on Superman and Lois.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So those are the only two actors that I know from that whole group.
Well, and I agree with you. I did do some deep dives on some of them, but the fact that we don't know anything about them is one of my favorite things about them.
Agreed.
Likewise.
I think them being mostly unknown is good.
Yeah.
You're actually casting for the character. It's good.
The Storm character, this will be her Sinister.
I don't know what the hell Adam Driver could do with Sinister, but I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it.
I also think that, like, when it comes to a villain, a known actor for the villain of the piece, like, I'm okay with that for some reason.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about the characters that are gonna inhabit the roles, for years and years and years,
the heroes, that's true.
I don't want to, like, at this point, no one will ever see a Hugh Jackman movie without thinking about Wolverine, ever.
Right.
And I think that it's good for these actors to not have that baggage.
Right. The person playing Storm, this will be her first film role. She's been a stage actor up to this point.
Oh, right. Yeah, I did read that. She's a theater.
The actress. Yeah.
I also like the fact that it's. Go ahead.
Oh, I said I haven't looked too much into the actors themselves, but like I think I told you this last week, JD. Like they're skewing them very young, like a young team, which I think is great. It's like make them young, make them inexperienced, put them in the school. Do all the things we love to see about the X-Men. They
got a plan for the next 15 years of movies.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Like these kids are going to be in their 40s by the time they're done. But
I haven't seen Brand New Day, so I don't know where Jean Grey ends up at the end of the movie. But the fact that we've got Samara Weaving, who's the other kind of well-known actor,
I do know her. Yeah.
Playing Emma Frost. My theory is that Emma's going to be a rival telepath. That there's like a contest to see who can help Jean, Charles or Emma.
I mean, that's the comics, right? The Massachusetts Academy, which is the rival school. It was that's like the whole introduction of Firestar when they took her from the cartoon and put her in the comics. Like Xavier tried to get her, but Emma won.
Yep.
And it didn't work out.
Justice. What was the horse's name? Butterbean.
Eventually, there's a love triangle too with Emma and Scott and Jean.
I hope not. Not in this particular case.
I mean, she's a decade older than all the rest of them. But
But,
I mean, you can do like a Miss Robinson thing, but I hope
not. We don't need to go that route. But I definitely think it makes sense.
Yeah, and I do have some like comic book nerd worries about things or preconceived notions about things. Like the guy they cast as Xavier seems real young for that role, but I don't know what approach. I don't know what approach they're going to take. Right? Xavier went bald. Xavier went bald as a young man, so he always feels older than he is.
So in their last run, Jay and Miles just talked about this. In the Morrison run, it is stated that Xavier is 42 years old.
That's some bullshit.
I don't buy that. That's in the Morrison run.
I don't buy that for a second. But yeah,
that's in the Morrison run. Yeah. Yeah. So
wait. Back up for a minute. You don't buy that he's 42. I definitely buy that Xavier would be 42 years old because he, first of all, look at anybody who's like, you look at yourself when you're in your 40s and then you compare yourself to this character. But if you looked at that character when you were 8 years old and somebody said this guy's 42 years old, you'd be like, oh yeah,
he's old as fuck.
He's an old man. But it's like it all depends.
Yeah, that's fair, Frank. That's fair.
Yeah, because
when I looked back and realized that I was 10 years past the point of the show 30 something from HBO. I was ready to curl up and die.
You put someone in a wheelchair with a blanket in their lap, and they are instantly 20 years older than they actually are.
100%.
But if you look at the I 42 is interesting. I don't remember that specific thing, but if you think about where it's also the timeline, like how old is Scott, right? Because he was like 16 when he first joined the X-Men. So how old is he in the Morrison run? I don't know. But is Xavier 24? Like 15 years older than him? Like so because if you think about it, that would mean he's a guy, he's like a freedom fighter who wants better for the world, and he is in 1963, he's like 30. Like is he you know, like that sounds about right. Like, you know, like he's got family.
I guess
he's not a 60-year-old guy. No, then what's he been doing? Right. You know what I mean? So you got to look at you've got if Magneto was a kid in World War II, like you look like they're like 30-ish, right? The two of them, and it's all tied into all the Malcolm X and
yep.
You know, all that stuff of that, right, in that era. So it's like, you think like 15 years older. So if they're 42, now you're looking at Scott. Scott's 28. Okay, I guess so. I mean, it's young, but they're always de-aging them. You know, they're always making them younger because you can't have 50-year-old Scott running around because then you've got Cable. You know, like it's you got an old man Scott. It only works because now he's yelling at children, and that doesn't really work as much. Rather than like he's trying to lift up younger peers versus screaming at kids like to their death. Like that's not great. But the two adult leads in this movie are both ex-boyfriends from Girls, which is aging millennial.
Oh God, yeah, that's right.
The other guy was like, he was Marnie's boyfriend. Like I totally forgot who he was. And that I don't know, what does that say about aging millennials? There you are. They are now the parents, like the wise mentors, which is scary.
No, it's true.
So we're just all old guys.
My sister's younger than me, and she's got grandkids. You know, it's just that's the circle of life. I think it's interesting, and I'm willing to withhold judgment before. Like, I'm trying to not let my connection to comic book history like color my opinion of things before they've even happened. Like,
save your hate to the first trailer. You know what I mean?
I've worked really hard to try to get over that. And so,
I'll be honest, the things I like about it, because I'm the opposite of Brian, I'm the apologist. The things I like about it are, I love the fact that we've got more female characters than male.
True.
Just because, one, I think that's just interesting. Two, it's going to piss a lot of the right people off. And then the other one is no Wolverine.
Yeah.
So far,
I'm fine with that. I think we need to get a fair bit of distance between Jackman and whatever comes next.
Yeah. We need an abject absence of Logan, of all of that. We need, we could bring in Beast. I think there's actually rumors of another Beast casting.
We're going to announce that soon, they say.
Yeah.
And, but other than that, but I also like the fact that it's not the 05, but I think we're going to get an 05 type storyline with a revised 05 that's going to involve Rogue and Storm, which I think is interesting.
I mean, that's essentially what X-Men First Class was, right? Where it's like it's the formation of the X-Men but with completely different characters.
Stupid question.
We don't ban the old
guy here. Stupid question from the old guy here. So do you guys remember that Rogue was a villain at one point, right?
Of course.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. And when Rogue was a villain, she seemed like she was 40 years old.
That's oh my God, they did draw her so old.
She had that very severe look, right? With the slick back short hair. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then she left the Society of Evil Mutants or whatever the hell it was.
There you go. Yeah.
She left. Anyway, and then she becomes one of the X-Men. Since she's become an X-Men, I think maybe 10 years have elapsed. There is absolutely zero mention of Rogue being a villain ever again.
No, it's not
she
true.
worked hard to get over that.
They have.
But that was something that was a recurring that came back a lot in the
comics.
It just one of the last comics I read on Marvel Unlimited before my subscription expired was I was getting caught up on Gail Simone's X-Men, and she even brings it up with Logan at one point. You know, she even says, "I was a villain once. We all have pasts." You know, it's a conversation piece that comes up quite a bit.
Yeah.
Also,
there was also a Rogue miniseries recently that was like a split timeline thing that dealt with her being a member of the Brotherhood.
The point I want to make is, are they going to put Rogue as a villain at first in the MCU? Because the MCU is a completely different animal than the comics.
The bigger question is, are they going to have Rogue? Are they going to have Rogue like put Brie Larson in a coma?
I was about to say, because listen, there was something that was going around. Not saying that necessarily this is going to happen, but they were saying like there's some stuff about like Secret Wars and a possible interaction, or something's going to happen to Captain Marvel. So who knows what's what it might be planned.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, do we think that these characters might appear in Secret Wars?
Don't know. They haven't said anything. The Secret Wars hasn't been announced at all right now. So,
and I mean, that's certainly a fine place for a scene where Rogue accidentally takes a little bit too much juice from Carol, because and Brian said this in the chat very recently. Rogue without the Captain Marvel powers, without the flight and the strength, is boring. That version of Rogue, like the Rogue before she got Caroled, is boring.
Yeah. True. Yeah, the Anna Paquin Rogue is boring.
Oh,
yeah.
That wasn't great.
She's such a blast in those late 80s comics. Like, basically her and she's the tank. She's just She's got she's like the hilarious thing about the very dour life death issue is that it's a beautiful Barry Windsor Smith where it's all about Storm and Forge and their love and all that shit. It's half the issue, because the other half is Rogue fighting one of like the ROM villains, those aliens.
A Dire Wraith.
Yes, that's right.
She's fighting Dire Wraiths at a motel. Like that, this one everyone's favorite issue. It's like, do you remember that part? Because it's awesome. Because but she's there and she's punching the shit out of aliens, and then you turn the page and it's like a soft poem and touching someone's face and so sad. And then it gets back to Rogue driving a car into an alien. It's rad. Yep. Like, she's so much fun, and that. When I reread those, I was like, she's my favorite. She's so great. And so I don't know who this actress is. I need her to be asking. Like, I need her to. Yeah, she needs to do it, because if this is I can't be touched and I'm so sad. It's like, get out of here. We don't need that.
I don't want that shit. Yeah, we did that already. We did that.
Did anybody watch Obsession?
I haven't seen it.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, trust me. If you want to see the range of this lady, if you're not for the director or anything like that may screw it, she can pull it off. I assure you of that. I saw enough of her in Obsession to be convinced. So.
Yeah, and that's certainly like one of the main things everybody mentions when they talk about that movie. It's that Indy Navarrete is tremendous.
Yes, animated. She does all the range of emotions you can ever imagine in that movie. It's amazing. But
that's good to hear, because in Superman, Superman and Lois, she's just a average teenager.
Yeah,
and that impressive.
I mean, she's fine, but you don't really get the sense that she's like exceptional.
Put it this way, I'm not going to spoil if anything you see it, but there was a scene where she smashes somebody's head into a brick repeatedly like a psycho, and it was amazing. So
I saw the scene where she breaks the bottle and smashes it into her own face.
Oh yeah, that happens. Actually, there's a lot of weird stealth mutilation shit that happens in that movie. But yeah.
Anyway,
I don't think they could do anything but that version of Rogue, given the popularity of X-Men 97 and the fact that in this casting announcement, Lenore Zan has already come out in support of Indy, and they're in communication. So I think there's going to be some cross-pollination with that version of Rogue.
We'll see if she can pull out the Southern drawl. That's the only thing. But she better be the Southern drawl.
I hope her accent is so bad that it sends Matt into conniption fits.
I don't want it at all.
I want it so bad.
No Southern accent. No accents on anyone.
Do it.
No.
I want her to say sugar.
I need that.
Yeah. How quickly into the Avengers movie does Matt walk out when Gambit shows up? How is it going to be immediately?
I want them to be like sugar, and then I want to hear the Cajun accent, whoever they get for Gambit.
Yeah,
I need it.
Gambit huffing and puffing, leaning on his fighting stick, being like, sorry,
come on,
Sham. Come on, dude. Yeah. I think Matt was the one in the chat who was like, is Rogue without Gambit, like, do people care? And I'm like, you don't think they're going to do Gambit? Dude, Mr. Sinister is the villain. You have Rogue, you have Mr. Sinister. That means you have Gambit. I think that there's very little doubt in my mind. Like, I would place a nerd bet on it that Gambit, if not in the first movie, he's at least teased, because like, that's how you introduce that character. But yeah, no, I agree. I think I don't need comical accents. I just think it would be funny. But all right, hey guys, I need to wrap it up. I've got I'm moving in a month or so I gotta do some packing. And we had a very full gang hang. So thank you all for coming. Thank you for hanging out with us. The show is back. Hey.
Yeah.
So if you haven't checked it out, please do so. And thank you for all the kind words in support and for sticking with us for this long. But we'll be back next week. There will be probably some breaks here and there because, like I said, I'm moving, but we'll let you know. For now, though, this is the Two-Headed Nerd signing off.
Later.